Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have a very special guest today joining all the way from Japan. We got Ranga Hewa Bandula of Gorevent. Hi Ranga,
Hi, how are you?
how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Channa, I think you met in 2013 in Nigambo. That was
Yeah, I
Nigambo,
think
probably
yeah
like
that
Roshan, you, me, Tisaya, Dimu, like we were all together, right? In Nigambo once. That was the only time I met you. That was like I don't know, it's like 7 years ago.
yeah I think that's seven I don't know 7 or 8 years ago.
2013 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Actually, when I posted that about this podcast, Roshan actually commented on that.
Oh, really? I didn't see it. Oh, I didn't see the
Yeah. He
comment.
said, homeboy.
Homeboy, yeah. He's also in like rock and roll and stuff, right? I mean, he
Right.
also listens to this kind of music.
Yeah. So, bro, how is the situation over there? In which city are you in Japan, and how is the situation with the COVID thing?
Uh, I'm in Tokyo right now, yeah. But the thing is, all over the place, it's not like good at the moment. Like especially Osaka, Tokyo, like a little bit like crazily the numbers are like increasing.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, like there are like some small concerts are like taking place, but still it's not like a big deal like which was like used to be like before. But like now, I mean, some local bands are like getting together and like they put on shows every other weekend. But like it's not like the scene which they had before. I mean, it was
Right.
amazing, the crowd, and like because everybody was like so free, like no masks, and like it was beautiful, right? I mean, now it's like a messed up. Like you have like when you are going to a concert or something, you have like be prepared. Like okay, my gear is ready. Like okay, well, mask and your guns or whatever. Like it's crazy now. The world is like, oh my god, man, I don't know what's gonna happen in like another 5 6 years if you're like really lucky to be able to see it. Like if you will survive.
Yeah, actually, the real world kind of started looking like the metal album covers right now, right?
Yeah, like that. I mean, crazy. The bodies are like rotting all over the place. This is like simply death metal. The whole thing, like it's coming alive. The only I don't know, maybe probably we might be able to see some zombies in the future as well if this persists. The situation. I don't know what
Yeah,
sort of virus
definitely.
will come in the future. I mean, like it's crazy because nobody was expecting this situation, isn't it?
Right, because I mean, I've been a big Megadeth fan, and when I look at all the Megadeth covers, it's like what's happening right now.
Yeah,
Like they've
exactly.
they've they've already told us the story before. Yeah. So Ranga, how you been keeping track of what's happening in Sri Lanka as well?
Yeah. Of course, because my parents are living in Sri Lanka, so I always like check the news, and yeah, I'm always like alert about what's going on because it's really important.
Yeah, it's the situation seems to be bad in Sri Lanka as well, right? Especially
Yeah. It's
recently.
like now I heard 36 deaths like yesterday or something, right? Within 24
Right.
hours. It's pretty
Yeah.
scary. The numbers are like
Yeah. So
yeah,
so Ranga, I know. I mean, we should talk about a little bit about your music career. So can you tell
yeah,
me a
sure.
little bit about your childhood? Growing up in Sri Lanka, and what's your like earliest memory of music?
Yeah, earliest memory of music. That's a good question. For me, basically, my parents are like really into, I don't know, like bands like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Jim Reeves, Carlos Santana, uh, Bee Gees, Boney M. Like these were the music that, like, when I was a kid, I used to like listen always because my parents were like really into like this kind of music, like pop, like old school rock. So, and also at the same time, I listen to like a lot of Sri Lankan artists as well, like Gunadasa Kapuge, Sunil Edirisinghe, Victor Ratnayaka, um, some of those like 80s, early 90s maybe, Sri Lankan
Right.
good artists. I was like, yeah, in love with them, and I still listen to them like up to date.
Yeah, I mean, I recently bought the because the Sunil Edri Singh actually released the first double vinyl album from
I
Sri
saw
Lanka.
it.
So yeah, I actually got it because it was so perfectly done. The
Yeah,
the
wow,
quality recording was it's a
it
live
was
event,
amazing.
right? But yeah, it was done perfectly. There's this guy called Decam, somebody who is the mixer
Yeah,
who
really.
mastered it. Yeah,
From
he's a Sri Lankan actually,
Sri
but
Lankan
it
too.
it was done very well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So how did you get into like rock and metal?
Yeah, rock and metal. That was, I think, because for me, I was listening to hip hop at the very beginning, probably like 1999 or 2000. We were like crazy about like those rappers like uh, Public Enemy, like old school hip hop, like
Yeah.
and also I was a big fan of Eminem, and I'm still listening to Eminem.
Right.
So that was like the I don't know in 2000s, like 2000, like this was the period that I was like really into rap music, like hip hop. And then gradually, like I got some CDs from my cousin, like he was a fan of like Iron Maiden and like this sort of like heavy metal, like Judas Priest, and these were like the first bands like that really got me into metal. And like of course not forgetting Slipknot, because I was really in love with them, like new metal new metal
Mm.
like Static X and Spine Shank, El Nino, like this new metal whole era. Like I was really in love with this, like Chimera and
Yeah.
yeah, these bands. I mean, even Godsmack. And
Godsmack
then
Bone.
gradually, like when you were like listening for years, like you want like more extreme stuff, right? And you don't want to like stop at like one point, like okay, maybe like there's no like limitation. I mean, it's like a I don't know, it's forever. Like you can go on searching for music. So I don't know, in 2002 or something, I found Cannibal Corpse and like Carcass. Like these bands are like, really tripped me out, man. I was like, oh my God. I think this is what I've been like looking for all my life or something like that. And then I really got stuck and I like started to look for like new music, and like then I got into like really uh deep waters,
After that, you're sort of in the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, like there's no get back, or like oh my God, it was like just down the hall, like you're just going, keep on going, and I'm still going up to this day. It's crazy.
Yeah. So Ranga, how did you get into drumming? I mean, what was your like earliest project or band? How did you get into drumming?
For me, Channa, yeah, I the first instrument that I played was like keyboards, and that was like when I was in grade 6, grade 7 or something. And then yeah, after that I kind of like gave up playing keyboards, and then I always knew like I could play drums because this beat was like in me, like I was just doing some percussion stuff. And even when we were like going to school back in the day, I was the guy who plays drums in the back of the bus, like this is
Right.
how I like always knew like this thing is like in me. But like some serious stuff happened. It was like 2004, um, and there was a band called Riddle Machine from Gampa.
Mhm.
So we organized the first rock concert in Gampa. That was in 2004. I was only 17 years old. So this was the first time that I really got into drums and started this thing as a drummer. So I realized like, okay, I'm sort of good at this thing. So this is what happened. I mean, yeah, that was the first time. Then I quit this band, and then I met Charlie at the same period, like, and then we started like this project called All Castles Massacre. That was our, that was my like first death metal band. Like that was the first band that like really got me involved in like death metal stuff, right?
Right. So during the same around those same times, Sri Lanka was also blooming with there were a lot of metal bands coming up, rock bands, there were rock
Yes.
company. And so what were the like Sri Lankan bands that you were influenced those days and you like?
For me, yeah, I really like. I mean, when I was a kid, I fell in love with Paranoid Earthling. I think that was the first like rock band that really got me like connected. Like when it comes to Sri Lankan music, like Pull Me Under. That was the first track, and I still
Right.
listen to that track. I mean, I really like. I mean, it's, and also at the same time, Whirlwind, they release Mindbender,
Right.
and that period, yeah. And then of course Stigmata, but Hollow Dreams album, it was like super for me.
Right.
And when it comes to more, yeah, those were the bands I think I was really digging into when it comes to Sri Lankan music, but especially Paranoid Earthling.
Yeah, because even for me, I felt Paranoid Earthling actually sort of broke that sound. They really had that international sound when they really
Yeah,
released it. They have the
I agree with
authentic
you.
grunge sound, right?
I agree with you exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They are like the pioneers in Sri Lanka of this scene, I think. Yeah,
So,
it was a cool
so
time.
yeah. So how was the Old Castle Massacre journey? So what happened with the band, and is it still active
Still
or is it still
active in the
alive?
sense, Channa, like it's still on hold, to be honest with you, because it's really hard to like make a commitment at this point because I'm not living in SL anymore. So probably if I come down, I'm not sure like if the world gets better. I mean, if the world gets back to normal, I thought of like coming like last year, but like now it's like 2021, so I'm just planning to come in 2022, so I'm not sure about it. Like, we cannot
Right.
like sure about anything at the moment, like so yeah, maybe I'm thinking about like releasing a small EP, uh, because now our members are like everywhere, so I need the original lineup to like record it, because it's
Right.
really important, because we've been sacrificing all our youth for this project, didn't go out of the country for our higher studies at that time, and like, because the band was everything for us. So it's been since 2000. I mean, the idea came back in like 2002 or something, but like we actually played a concert in 2005. That was the first concert for us in Kandy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is the same concert that I went to. Like the rock company gig. Was it the rock company gig?
That was a Candy Rock merger gig. That was the first Candy Rock merger gig, I think. No, that was the second one, I think.
Right.
2005 one. The Rock Company gig, actually, we didn't play Channa yet. I think you're talking about maybe in 2004, maybe
Yeah,
here.
maybe around 2004,
Now we are
2005. I
old,
think.
man. Like
No,
I
I don't
forget things.
remember
I
anymore.
forget things a lot, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, this thing, I feel like, oh, I just left school 20 years ago. That's sort of
Yeah,
my feel. But
yeah.
I'm
For
like,
me, it's like now 15 years, right? Oh my God. Yeah, it's been a long time.
yeah, it's a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay
So
to like forget things, like, because there's a lot happening right now. So you cannot like just focus on like one thing. Oh my God. Like, oh, I'm focusing on this thing right now. No, it's so like crazy, man. There's a lot going on. And like I'm forgetting a lot also at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Ranga, are you keeping track of of the SL metal scene these days? Have you seen any good bands or songs coming
Uh,
out?
uh I think these guys are doing pretty good, right? The new band Genetic Fallacy, right? Genetic Fallacy.
Right.
Yeah, I think I like their sound, and I know the guys also like the band members, and also at the same time, I mean, my all-time favorite is the Genocide Shrines. Uh, that's hands down my favorite Sri Lankan metal band, and for me, yeah, the new scene. I mean, I kind of lost the track, Chennai, because I'm not going to concerts anymore. So I hardly have time to like even to go to YouTube and like check on them. Well, like I keep on track like always the bands which I used to listen like back in the day. So I always keep on track like what they're releasing, and like also the members are like my good friends like since 2000, like early 2000s. We meet this guy. I mean everyone, right? So
Yeah.
it's been a long time. So if they release something, say, they basically like inbox me or something. So I don't have like go and search. So they always send me the link and oh, thanks, man, it's there. So it's easy to like just one click, you're there. And like yeah, because life is getting busy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's you you lost like you lose the what do you call the connections with all friends, and like you're meeting new friends at the same time. But I'm not saying like you're forgetting the old ones, but sometimes
Right.
like it's like you're drifting away. I mean, it's really hard like keep connected, I mean, with some friends even. So I mean, that's life, right? I mean, we have like face whatever comes. That's it's the nature of it.
Yeah. Actually, one thing that I realized, especially after this pandemic, I really got connected with a lot of old friends
Me
during the
too. That's
pandemic.
what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Exactly. Yeah. Because a lot of spare time.
Right. Yeah. So it's one thing, and then this genetic fallacy. Actually, they're from Nigambo. So
Yeah,
I when
Nigambo
I
guys,
first
right?
yeah, when I first heard that they're from Nigambo, I mean, you remember, like, I remember back in the day, there was like only maybe three, four guys in Nigambo who even
Yeah.
listen to metal. Now that
Whole
there's a
scene. It
whole
was like,
band coming out, and then they're actually hosting, like, they have like a gig that they do, hybrid theory or something.
oh really?
Yeah, they do. They have the promotion also in Nigambo. They do a month, every year they do a gig.
Oh, I
Uh,
saw some videos, I think, in Facebook. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's amazing for me that, because I remember back in the day, I have to ride the bike and I go to my friend's house, and that's the only thing,
Those
like,
were the
metal
days,
for
right?
us. We have to go back to I always have to go to Colombo for gigs.
And
It's
no internet and no mobile phones, nothing. You just like sometimes you don't know where the hell your friends are. Like, hey, what's up? Are you there? Like you have like scream because you cannot find no phone calls, nothing. It was
right.
time.
But yeah, but there was a goodness, there was a certain intimate thing about that as well, those days, right? It's really, that's why probably we are so much into music and so much into metal, because we had to put a lot of effort to
Effort,
learn, even just to
exactly.
learn
It's not like
about a
these days.
song. Yeah. Yeah,
You
now
not like
everything
go
is
through like internet crazy to like to search on some lyrics and stuff, and it's crazy.
right.
Because those
uh,
days we didn't have like pen drives, we had diskettes. You remember, right? The diskette, the small biscuit thing,
yeah.
like diskette. It's crazy. Yeah, those are the
Yeah,
days.
this. Yeah.
Crazy.
Ranga, I know that you didn't you play with a band in Afghanistan before?
Oh, that was in Iraq. I was
Iraq.
working in Iraq for like 1 year.
Hmm.
I was working as a dispatcher for Danata Emirates. That was in 2000. 2000. See, I'm forgetting now. 2014. Yeah, 13 to 14. And so sorry, 14 to 15. And then I met these guys from Baghdad. Actually, I was working um, north of Iraq. That was it's actually a country, but still it's part of Iraq. It's called Kurdistan. It is like
Right.
border to Iran, Syria, Turkey. Like, I mean, I met these guys from Baghdad. That was 2014 August or something, because they were playing in a club. And then one of my friends told me, okay, these guys are covering some rock songs, so you just wanna like hang out and then see, check these guys out. I was like, yeah, fine. And then uh, my friend knew the band before, So he asked me like, okay, we have a drummer from Sri Lanka. You want to like give him a try or something? So I just basically went onto the stage and I was like, what do you guys play? You guys, I mean, everybody knows Nirvana, right? So let's play Nirvana. And then like the whole crowd was like, it was going crazy. And then their drummer is originally from Syria, but he
Hmm.
got Hani. He got married and he went back to Damascus. So there was an opportunity. So they called me, like they just wanted me right there. So I was like, okay, let's start a new project. So we started a band called Sinners.
Hmm.
It's like heavy thrash sort of a band. And then we played at TEDx events in 2015. Yeah, probably like January or something. That was our first huge concert, TED Talks. That was in, I think, yeah, 2015 in
Right.
Erbil.
I mean, it's mind blowing. Like, places like even Iraq, that there are like rock metal bands and gigs are
I was
happening, right?
surprised to see these guys. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but like this country is really, in Japan we call yabai. Ne? Yabai is like it's dangerous, like crazy or something like that. Because all my friends had like weapons in their cars. This country is like always, because you never know when you're gonna have a
Right.
like war or something, because they're always fighting for these borders, right? They're surrounded by some big Muslim countries, so always have like border issues, and they want to expand the country.
Right.
So
Yeah, but
it
I
was a
mean,
good
how
experience.
right? Because that's what I heard of. Like, I heard couple of bands who played like in Afghanistan, and what you hear in the news is it's just like a war. It's all war, and but there are
Media
people
shows it's like
still.
everybody, yeah, scared
Yeah,
of
but
getting bombed.
yeah,
It's true, it's true.
I
Yeah,
think this is
Iraq.
the yeah. I think this is probably the same like when we had the war in Sri Lanka, because the
We know,
outside it, yeah, they say it's about there's a war going on, but we never
we don't care,
experienced it,
right?
right? Right.
Exactly. We used to go to school and like maybe there could be a bomb in the bus, but we don't care. Like, crazy time. Yeah, I remember. I mean, most of these youngsters, they don't know the shit we went through, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, that was a dark period. That was really dark. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why we all like really like, we really got into metal because it was totally chaos.
Yeah, I remember even like maybe like when I was like probably around like 6, 7. Those were the days like the JVP days. They were burning people on tires, right? That was
Yeah.
happening, and everybody was scared of, like, mothers were scared of their sons being like
Sons,
getting involved with
JVP
JVP, and it's all
Viplavi
actually
Ranga
it's all
Yeah,
like
those.
actually it's all like heavy metal, right?
He was like, I mean, like Sepultura, like playing live. I was like, oh my god, it's crazy. People are like in tires, like turning into ashes. Wow, it was crazy. It was mind blowing.
Right.
It was a
So
dark period.
so Ranga, how long ago did you came to Japan, and how what was your like first impression when you get there?
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, Channa. And Japan is a country. They face Second World War, and like they have their own history, right? I mean,
Right.
people even they have their own way of thinking, and it's a well organized country. It's the second largest economy, I think, in the world, and well established country, and it's so different from the other places that I've been in my life. I mean, it's a big city, the Tokyo, and like this whole thing. It's really new to me, but like if you don't speak the language here, like it's really hard to like find a job or like go on basically, because you
Right.
have to learn. So even for me, I cannot speak fluently, but I can manage some words or like some sentences, so I can carry on a small conversation. But like it takes time, and also reading, and like everything is like in Japanese letters. You're like, what the hell, man? Like I cannot read this shit. Like you get stuck, and like you need the Google Translate. Like, okay, let's like scan this shit and see like what's going on here. And it's really difficult. But basic we call like kanji. Kanji is like the originally came from China. They have like three alphabets, like two alphabets, hiragana, katakana, and then kanji. But kanji is like hard because it's like if you say sky, it's like ozora. Ozora is like a one kanji. We have like right sky, right? Zora, it's like it's just like one kanji. If you don't know this kanji, you don't know what sky is. Like I mean, something like that. It's
Right.
basically represent like just one letter. So yeah, it was like pretty amazing. People are like, well, they are not very extrovert sort of people, but I don't say they're introverts either. But like, they don't care about like maybe what's going on in your next seat, or like even if the next person is like farting, they don't give a flying f. Like they
Right.
just focus on themselves. Maybe like it's very more reserved country, I think. But the heavy metal scene here is like here, like it's big, but a lot of genres.
Right. And I mean, Japan is one of the biggest, like for music, any music really, right? It's a
Yeah,
biggest, I think one of the biggest markers. And I think that Japan is the one that actually still keeps all the like the physical media and CDs and vinyls and all this stuff is still
exactly.
alive
Still
in Japan,
available.
right?
Still available.
Yeah. So how was like you remember like what was your like first gig that you went to in Japan?
The first gig that I went to Japan, it was Chennai. I went to see Belfago, Take, the Norwegian black metal band, and Bolsa from Switzerland. That was the
Right.
gig, first gig that I went in Japan. And then I saw Emperor, Opeth, Internal Bleeding, uh, Cattle Decapitation, uh, Revocation, and
Mm,
what else? Um, yeah, some good Japanese death metal bands, of course.
right. Um, so now you play drums for Gorevent. So
Yeah.
I know that this is a very old band as well, right?
Yeah,
So
they started back in like I think early 2000s maybe, but the lineup was like keep on getting changed over the years. I think there was a girl. Initially, there was a girl who was playing bass for Goen. All of them are from like Niigata. Niigata is like a very cold area in Japan. It's like Tohoku. Tohoku is like east, uh, east of. Oh, that's west, right? Yeah, west of Japan, northwest.
right.
So normally it's cold, like it's a very cold area. So
So
all these members are from Niigata.
how did you get invited to join the band?
Sachi knew our project, like All Castles Massacre, before. He was good friends with Charlie, my band's vocalist, Sri Lankan band's vocalist. Charlie was like, he was keeping in touch with this guy for a long time. He has been sending the merch and everything. We had a like good connection. So he knew I was in Japan, and then the drummer was like Mickey, and he sort of had his personal like commitment. So he decided like part ways with the band, and then
Right.
I got a call saying like, okay, do you want to like audition? Like let's jam and see like. And then I was a big fan, right, of Going. I was like, I got the call. I was like, oh my god, okay, this guy is like calling to me, be a part of this band, and which I was a fan like for a long time, and it's like a dream coming true. And then yeah, I went and like played their some of their songs, so they were like really happy about the way I put it, like my own what do you call it's like
Your
I'm just
spin.
like like coming up with my own feels, and they loved it, and they were like, okay, let's start to record something new. And I managed to play their all songs in the album like Fate. That was the album they released in 2019, and we were supposed to like travel to Germany and Mexico, but like and also Colombo, but after Corona, I mean everything like vanished,
Right.
so we are just still
Yeah.
waiting to play live.
Yeah. I hope you guys can come to Philippines as well.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you in like Development concert. He was like, hey man, that's Channa in the video. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, like, it was crazy. I mean, I was just like going through videos and I was like, Diwam in Philippines, and there was a nice chick in the video at the same time. I was like, oh man, there's Channa also there. I was like, oh, I'm not high. Like, I mean, he's really there. Then I texted you saying, hey, I saw you like this video. It was amazing. I mean, it's like next to an apartment, like Diwaman is playing like in the street. It was crazy.
Yeah,
In
yeah, yeah. It was
Philippines, right?
just
I mean,
on
it's in the
just
USA.
they put a stage on just middle of the road. It's
Yeah,
like crazy.
crazy, right? Butcher the way it was crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah, I saw them also earlier. I think in 2012 or 2013 as well, when they did their earlier tour or as well. There was it was in a different gig. Um,
Oh,
yeah, they really, I really love Development. I've been listening to them a lot also.
yeah,
Uh,
Diwaman is a sick band. We all love Diwaman.
there was this
Butcher the
one
way.
band that you mentioned to me from Japan. You told me about Deathopia,
Ah, Detopia, Mune's band. He's my
Pune's
friend.
band.
We never got to meet in person yet, but I'm hoping to meet him soon.
Yeah, because they released this one, the latest album. I think it
Latest
came
album.
last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
Beyond the Death. I've been, because I saw them also like three. They played here three times, I think, in Manila.
Oh wow,
Mune
that's
and yeah. So I've been to a lot of their gigs, and Mune actually came on my podcast also a few, like last year. We
yeah,
we
yeah. I
talked.
remember.
Yeah, and he's like a, it's kind of like he's like a child, right? When you look at him,
Yeah.
he looks like very soft guy, but he's, I mean, it's
But
brutal.
when it comes to his guitars, I know he's sick. And there's another band called like Fecundation. It's like Korean, Japanese kind of a lineup going on. That's also like it's a good band to check out. Maybe I'll send you a link later. It's really
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
Also, you
Japan.
should,
Hmm.
yeah, you should also check out 1A label, because it is a record label, Japanese Philippine. They it's a
Oh,
partnership, 1A label. So that's
one
the,
level.
they do shows, promotions as well. Those are the guys who bought Deathopia. And then there's another band called Pukelician, I think. It's also connected. Some of the, one
Japanese.
of the drummer was in Deathopia also. There's a lot of bands actually Japanese. So they're bringing Japanese bands here. One
To
A,
Philippines.
they're
That's
called
nice.
One A. Yeah.
Oh.
So what's happening with Govent? What are you guys working on these days?
Now we are working on our new album, Chennai. Like guitars, like most of the songs, it's already written. So I had like Mada drum parts, ne haitanai. It's still the drumming yet to be entered. So it, I mean, because of Corona, it's really hard to like, I mean, we were supposed to practice even like last month, but like because half of the band they're living in Niigata. So it's like if you take the bullet train from Tokyo to go to Niigata, I mean, it takes about like 2.5 hours. So you can imagine like going at
That's
this
so
speed,
far,
like
right?
still you take like 2.5 hours to go to the other side of the country. So I mean, it's a nice place, but like yeah, it's cold for me. And now we are working on our album, and I don't know like when to release or when to finish this, and like yet to be like finished like a lot of stuff. Hopefully, yeah, maybe at the beginning of next year we are planning. Let's
Right.
let's hope for the best anyway. Because me and Fumiya, Fumiya is the new guitarist. Fumi Saito, he's from Sendai. He's also from like far away. Uh, so we were like two new members to join Goen at
Right.
the same time. So we were like really excited to play our first gig, but then like Corona came from nowhere, and like it was like, you know, destroying our dreams. And like, so I was like, it's okay, let's wait for a while, man. Right now it's more important to be alive rather than playing gigs.
Right. Uh, so Ranga, what's your message to the viewers of the podcast?
um Keep supporting Channa and keep supporting Sri Lankan metal scene for sure, because that's the scene that I was created from, because that's where I came from, and this is really important for me. So keep supporting local music, and don't forget to check out Goen and follow your dreams. Live your life. This is what I have to say.
Right. Anybody you want to shout out to?
There's a lot of guys. So if I come up with like just one name, then oh my god, why didn't you like mention? Like they are becoming like chicks. Or I would say like let's like say everybody who got my back when I was in Sri Lanka, because I was a naughty kid, and then including my parents. Like thanks for tolerating my shit. And all the friends hi back in Sri Lanka, and all the guys who are like joining us right now. Thank you very much for your time, and like stay safe, stay at home, practice, do whatever you like, and yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Channa. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, bro. So thanks for joining this. I mean, we wanted to do this for some time, so, but it
Yeah,
got delayed somehow.
busy,
But
right?
yeah, but finally we are here, and I really, I always follow I followed your journey, meeting you like 8 7 years ago, and I
8 7 years
I
ago.
always I always admire people who fellow Sri Lankans and fellow like people who are coming from the same places,
Yeah,
going places. I feel like Sri Lankans tend to do very well when they're outside of Sri Lanka. But I think I think that needs to change. I want also people in Sri Lanka to do well as well, right? We want our brothers to do
for
well.
sure. That's our
Yeah.
wish.
So looking forward to your new songs, and maybe Govent can do a tour here in the future. And all the
I'm
best,
looking
bro.
forward. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, stay safe, stay metal.
Stay Melchana, keep it brutal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.